Wouldn't it be great to live off just the interest and have your retirement portfolio last throughout retirement? Well, yeah, right? That's everybody's dream. So how do you come up with those numbers? How do you determine how much you need to save so that you can live off the interest alone in retirement? So today, let's talk about that. So the first step is going to be to figure out what your expenses actually are. Okay, so add them all up. What's the mortgage payment? What's the car payment? What's the tractor payment, right? Tally all of that up. And also, if you're approaching retirement age, maybe it's you got 4 or 5 years out till you're going to be retired, potentially that mortgage or the car payment is going to be paid off at that point in time. So take that into consideration as well. Maybe your expenses are going to be a little bit lower when you actually retire compared to where they're at today. Okay, so add up all those expenses. And one more reminder on that front, don't forget to add in the fun. Okay, make sure you're budgeting for the fun. You've worked your entire life for this golden age, if you will, in retirement. Make sure that you're enjoying it as well. So budget in that fun. The next step would be to determine what your contractual lifetime income amounts to on a monthly basis. So these would be things like your Social Security benefit, maybe your spouse's Social Security benefit. Are you one of the lucky ones that actually has a pension benefit as well? Add all of that up. I also have some clients where they have rental producing income. So, you can include that as well. It's not necessarily guaranteed, right? But if that's something that you're counting on in retirement, you should also have that in your overall budget as well. So once you've done that, you've got your expenses all tallied up and then your guaranteed income sources all tallied up. What does that look like? Okay, let's say for an example, your guaranteed income sources are $4,000 a month. That's between your Social Security and your spouse's Social Security, and maybe you have a pension as well. Okay, so that adds up to $4,000 a month. And then your expenses. Okay, you went through that, you tallied it all up, and you got $7,000 a month for your expenses. So what does that mean? Well, we call it a shortfall, right? You've only got $4,000 of guaranteed income, yet your expenses amount to $7,000 a month. So you have a shortfall of $3,000 a month. So this is great. It gives us a starting point, right? It says, hey, I need $36,000 a year in retirement to meet my needs and live the way that I want to live. So that helps us determine what your number is actually going to be, what that number that you need to get to save for retirement. So one of the old general rules is called the rule of the 4% rule. Okay, it was coined back in 1994 by a financial professional by the name of Bill Bengen. Okay, and basically what he did is he went back and looked at history and said, okay, from 1926 through 1976, how did stocks and bonds perform? And if I would have taken out X amount from my portfolio over that time, what would have yielded a portfolio that would have lasted my entire retirement? And basically his calculations came to that golden 4% rule, if you will. So that's a good general rule of thumb that we like to start with. Obviously, there's a lot of different variables associated with that, but it's a good start. Okay, so if you need $36,000 a year in retirement to meet your needs, well, just divide that by 4%, and that's going to come up with what you need to have saved for retirement to live off the interest throughout your golden years there. So 36 divided by the 4%, or 36,000 divided by 4%, and you're at $900,000. So that's saying at a safe withdrawal rate of 4%, you need $900,000 saved for retirement to hopefully have your portfolio last until you are passed away. So again, there's lots of different variables that go into that. Here at Centennial Wealth Advisory, we have a software program called Retirement Analyzer. It allows us to put in a lot more information than just what I did there. It accounts for inflation, taxes, what happens if one spouse dies before the other, and so forth. And we can go through by the numbers and help you determine what that safe withdrawal rate is and how living off the interest of your portfolio could be a possibility throughout retirement.